everybody, it's Kathy Champion at Random Acts of Crafting, and I thought today would be a very good day for me to revisit, after using my Revolution die cut and embossing machine, that this would be a really good time to come on and do a re-review. When I took this out of the box, did the unboxing and tried it out, I loved it. I thought it was well designed. This one is by We Are Memory Keepers. It has the beautiful teal and white color. Revolution is on the handle right here. It says on the side of it, it is an embossing and cutting machine. It has a 6-inch width here. It comes with very simple plates. You have your base plate. This is your platform or your base plate. It says on here, not a cutting surface. You never want to cut on that. Then you have your magnetic plate. And this is your cutting surface. But you always want to make sure you're cutting on the gray side, not this side. And it does have over here not a cutting surface. So you do not want to cut on this side. You always want to cut on this vinyl side. Now, the one thing I've noticed, and you can see that I've used this quite a bit, you're going to get cut marks in your bottom mat, because this is what your the edges of your die cut. Every die cut, and I've got one right here, every die cut has these raised up ridges, and when you put your paper down and put the die over it, and I will show you very simply, you place your paper, and with this being a magnetic plate, when I lay this over, it magnetizes, I'll get the right word out, to the mat. You can move it, to get it where you want it, which this is great. The magnet is very strong in this, so it does hold your dies in place. I mean, I can literally go like that and they do not fall off. So I love this machine for this reason. I have found out, because I am a vendor for We Are Memory Keepers, and I did find out that these magnetic mats are replaceable. So once you get so many cuts in them that they just feel really nasty to you and you want to change it, you can. The good thing I'm finding about this mat, it's not bowing. I don't have any bows in it because look, it's flexible. And because it's flexible, you can just self-correct it. And actually, the magnetic plate or your platform really keeps it even because it adheres to it so well. So you don't have that bowing that we get in our other die cut machines. Now, we know that we put our paper down and we put our die cut down, and we have two other plates. This is your die cut. This is the plate that you put over top of your die. This is not a cutting surface, so you never want to put this under and try to cut on top of it. That does not work. So if you are cutting this piece out, you would lay this on top. You will run it through the machine just like this. It cranks so easy, it is completely unreal. Now this was paper, so it does cut through paper very, very easily. But look at this. I want to show you, when I raise this up, how it holds most of the little pieces onto your mat. You have hardly any weeding to do on this piece. Look at that. It absolutely, and it works the same way if you're using cardstock. All of my little pieces are on here, and all I do is take it to the trash can, and I usually use either this, or I found out today that my Teflon bone folder, using this edge right here, really cleans these off super, super good, and it doesn't harm your magnetic mat. So I'm just rubbing them off, and they come off really super easy. So I've been, like I told you, not just because I have this in my shop for sale am I thrilled with it, because I'll be perfectly honest with you, if I didn't like it, I would tell you so. And I would have probably sent mine back along with the one that I ordered to put in my store. that's just the way I am. I will never ever try to sell you something that I don't love. This machine I love. Now, if you want to use an embossing folder, let me grab one. I don't have one here. I have a stack of dies, but no embossing folder. So I'm back in the boot, so bear with me while I hobble over to get an embossing folder. And I think I'm just going to grab, I want something fairly simple. This is a pretty one. And I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper. I'm just going to do a small piece of paper in here. But I grabbed this embossing folder, and this was I think this one was called the Fall Swirls. And I'm just going to put this right in the middle and just do the middle part of it. I just basically want you to see. Now when you're embossing, you're not going to use that cut plate. This is your die cut. And you have another thinner plate that says emboss. There's no guesswork. You die cut with this one and you emboss with this one. It's all spelled out for you. So we just lay this down. You don't change this plate out. Your cutting mat or your magnetic mat stays right there. You put this over top and you run this through. It doesn't feel like it's doing anything. It really doesn't. It goes through so easy that it doesn't feel like it's embossed at all. But wait till you see this. Take it out. Open it. Look at that. Now this is white core paper, so it cut into the white core. Is that not beautiful? I love the way it did that. Sometimes I take white ink and I'll drag, but you don't even have to with this. If you use a white core paper, this is what you'll get. I think it's gorgeous. I love it. Again, like I said, these mats are replaceable. You can buy them from We Are Memory Keepers. I am going to carry them in my store as well, just in case you pick up one of these machines and you need accessories for it. And I'm definitely not saying you need to buy this machine from me, but I will tell you this. It is a workhorse of a machine. So after about, I think it's probably been 4 or 5 weeks since I'd have to go back and look at my videos to see when I first introduced this to you. But in that length of time, I have been using this machine non-stop. I have not pulled out my Big Shot Plus, which was gigantuous. And I have been using this one, and I love it. It works fantastically. So I do have a hair sticking to it. Now, in pros and cons, I will tell you, this one does not fold up. I've seen some of the other ones. I believe May did one that was put out by, I don't even remember. I don't remember the name of it. But hers folded up, so it made it much more compact if you needed to store it on a shelf or something. But I have, my table is big enough that I am afforded the real estate here, that I can sit this right over here, and it's out of my way, but yet it's very easy to grab when I need to use it. Again, the die cuts, here's some of the die cuts that I've done on it. I think that they turned out beautiful. Is that not gorgeous? This on a piece of, I've got a little piece of white here that I was just messing with, but look at that. And that is just gorgeous for the front of a card. So, your dies and your die machine, you think, oh, I could never put that much money into anything. But these are just some of the dies I recently got. And once you buy these, as long as you take care of them, and I am super, super picky about my dies, the minute they come in, I put them on these magnetic sheets. And I cut these. These are actually dryer vent covers, and I order them off of Amazon. And look, they're very strong. You cannot shake the dies off of them. So I put all of my dies with the name on the back of what each one of them are, so that way whenever I use a die in a card or whatever, I can let you know what the title of the die was, so that and I can't wait to try cutting this one. This is a happy birthday, and it looks beautiful, and it's got this framelit that goes around the outside of it. Again, the magnetic plate, let me show you. This is one thing that I love about the magnetic plate. I love to be able to, I think I'm going to go ahead and just cut that one out of this. Let's try it. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of things in the coming weeks. Now, like I said, I know I'm going to be at a commission the 15th of January, probably through that following week. I'll come back as soon as I possibly can. Just have to make sure y'all can understand me. See how that just snapped on there? And I mean, it's on there. So you can actually put your die down, and then if you've got a piece that you want to fit around it, you can do this and get it exactly like you want it before you cut it. And then lay your plate on it. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to move. It's going to go through. It's going to cut your piece out beautifully. And like I said, I could not be more thrilled with the way this machine, works, because it is a gorgeous workhorse of a machine. Now, that kind of stuck right there just a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to pull this up. Now see, that one didn't pull it out, but let's try pulling this off and see what we get. Look at the magic. Oh, everything stayed in the die. Now this die will not be hard to brush out, and if you have a little brush that's for that, look at that. I'm going to lay it on the black of that. Is that not the cutest thing? Look at that happy birthday. And if you went back in and colored, now this did some embossing along with the die cutting. And I'm going to be covering some classes on embossing, because there are so many ways to emboss. A lot of times we think of embossing as just the embossing folder like I used earlier, you know, like this. Some people think of embossing only being using the detail embossing powders, but there are so many ways to emboss, and we're gonna delve into all of the ways. And I think that you will. I think you're going to become very informed, and you will be able to add so much to your crafting abilities by staying tuned for a few of these episodes where I love to teach. And you know, when I learn something, I'm going to pass it on to you, because that's the joy of being a crafter. I think any of us like to find people that want to learn and wants to try something new, and that's what I want you to do. I want you to not be afraid to try something new. So I'm gonna pop that out just a little bit, just like that. And I gotta call my doctor in just a minute and see if they've gotten the results from my MRI. Have not heard yet. So I just wanted to come on real quick and do a re-review of the Revolution. And like I said, I think that if you are in the market for a die cut machine and you have the space of, 12 inches, it's about a foot by 6 feet wide, and of course your handle. Now this handle doesn't roll and tuck in like the Cuttlebug did, but the Cuttlebug's gone, and like I said, if I could have purchased another Cuttlebug, I probably would have. But now I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I am loving the fact that I don't have curling plates anymore, and that alone is a selling point for this machine. This plate's going to last me for a good while before I'm going to need to actually replace it. So again, if you are in the market for a die cut machine, look into this one. I'm going to keep the price at $79.99 on my site. I did have it at the retail price of $99.99, but I'm going to keep it at that price because I want to offer you a good die cut machine, and I want it to be economical for you to be able to purchase it. And I know the shipping on it is going to be a little bit because of the fact shipping's not cheap. But if you want this die cut machine, I encourage you to go out and look and see where you can find it at. If you can find it cheaper than $79.99, I would say go for it. I'm a small retailer, so if I go any lower than that, I wouldn't be making a profit. And that's why I have a store. I need to make money. It's the way I make a little bit of a living and bring y'all beautiful crafts in the process. So this is my happy birthday. This is another reason why I label them. I can remember which piece this needs to go back on. Now see that this one's got a lot of little pieces in it, but this brush right here makes it so easy just to pop those out. I usually hold them up to the light to make sure I've gotten all my pieces out, and I believe I do. If you don't think you do, once you lay it on this block, you can definitely tell that you have it. And so now I've got all my little pieces, but my little ladybug to the rescue, because if you're interested in one of these little desk backs, go to Amazon. I think it was like $8. She's making noise because, bless her, she needs cleaning out. It's probably packed, and it is. And a big piece of paper got hung in the blade, and that's what you were hearing. See that piece right there? So I am going to just take my little pokey tool. Oh, and for all of you that have been looking for these, I found them. I am going to be ordering some of these and have them in my shop. So I should be getting those. I should be able to place an order. I filled out my application to become a vendor with this company, and hopefully I will have those in stock pretty soon. So now everybody was saying they couldn't find them anymore, and I found a company that has them, and they're cheap. I think it's going to be like $5. I mean, $5. And I have used this and used it and used it over and over and over. But I do live in fear of it breaking. Mine has not broken yet, and I'm so thankful. So let's try our ladybug now. Oh, she's running smooth now. Yeah, that piece of paper had gotten caught up in that little fan, and it just made that loud racket. So, but I'm going to go ahead and close off. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I did want to show you what you can do with a die cut machine, all of the different little elements that you can do, and the things that you can emboss as well. And like I said, we are going to delve much more into embossing, die cutting, and different tricks and techniques that I think everyone needs to know how to do if you are a crafter. So let me lay this over here so you can also see it. And there we go. All done with one machine, 2 separate plates, one for embossing and one for cutting. So it is a no-brainer, very easy to use a die cut machine and embossing. So again, I cannot say enough about this machine. I love it even more now than I did when I first pulled it out of the box, because when I pulled it out of the box, I wasn't sure about that magnetic base plate or cutting plate. It has proved to me to be absolutely wonderful. So for all of you that were a little bit concerned of how that was going to work, it has not warped, it hasn't curled, it hasn't missed a step. And even though it's got lots of marks in it, I'm not getting any marks on the back of my die cuts. And that's usually something we do get with the traditional plastic plates or acrylic plates that we use to cut on. We usually get those terrible marks, the cut marks in them, and then when you run your dies through, the back side of it. Sorry, so sorry. They always give that impression of that very crinkly look on the back. This doesn't. I mean, I am pulling this up as close to that as I can get. There is nothing there that is showing any crinkles. So that I love. All right, I'm going to go for now. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you so much for all of the support from my video I posted earlier today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know that I'm going to be fine because I know that Jesus is going to take care of me. And I'm praising Him for the healing already. I'm praising Him for whatever decision is made on my foot. He is in control. And as long as He's in control, I have nothing to fear. So in closing, again, let everything you say and do bring glory to your Father in heaven. Wish someone a happy day today. Tell someone you love them and be an encouragement to someone. I'm so thankful for all of you. God bless you, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.